This video is about writing your body paragraphs for your Fordham Undergraduate Law Review Note. So first, your body paragraphs are going to differ slightly in terms of whether you're writing your body paragraphs that include more of your opinion or more background information. But regardless, the essential points of writing your body paragraphs will remain the same whether you're writing more background information or more your opinion. So first, when to write. I suggest writing once you have all of your information organized. So when you're conducting your research and finding quotes and information about the topic that you selected, you want to make sure that you are organizing this information into your tentative outline. And if you don't have a tentative outline, I highly suggest making one because it helps you better organize all of the information and it helps you figure out where you're missing information and what you need to conduct more research on. So I suggest starting to write when you feel confident with the amount of research that you've done and you feel confident with the amount of information that you have that you can write about. Next, what to write. I like to write a section or a subsection at a time. And I think it's important to spread your writing out over a longer period of time in order to make sure that you are not sacrificing the strength of your writing as your note goes on by trying to write a lot in a very, very short period of time. Next, the goal of your body paragraphs is to explain what you're trying to say and what you're trying to argue in a logical and clear and concise manner. You want to make this topic accessible to your readers, and you can assume that your readers might have some background information about what you're discussing, but you want to make sure also that everything that they would need to know is properly explained to them. In terms of making it accessible to your readers, the most important method of doing this is to make sure that your paragraphs are well organized, well cited, and clear. So you want to use clear wording, sentences that are not excessively long. You can always separate, if you have very long sentences, to separate into multiple sentences. Very long paragraphs can be separated into multiple paragraphs, and you want to make sure you're wording everything in a very concise and clear manner. Next, it's generally helpful to divide your paragraphs into topics and your topics into sections and subsections. So from the table of contents of your note, which is often your outline, you want to make sure that the outline that you provide and the table of contents that you're following has sections and subsections that will help you organize your thoughts and will help the readers understand where your note is going. Sections and subsections are helpful for writers and readers alike. For writers, it will help you organize your information and give you a direction of what to write and when. And for readers, it will help them figure out where they want to, like if they're just looking for specific information in your note, they won't need to read the whole thing. But also if it will help them kind of understand the goal of your note, what evidence you use, and what you're arguing. One of the most important things about your body paragraphs is the use of your topic sentences, which is the first sentence of a paragraph. The topic sentences should be indicative of what the whole paragraph is about. And often when you write a topic sentence, after writing the whole paragraph, you might need to go back and edit your topic sentence to make sure that it's not too narrow or too broad for what you ended up actually including in the paragraph. Next, in terms of evidence and quotes, you want to make sure that your topic sentence is well supported by the evidence you provide and analyze throughout the body paragraph. You also want to make sure that you integrate quotes well into your note. And the best way of determining if a quote is well integrated is to read your note, or at least the sentence with the quotes, out loud. And if you can't tell where the quote is and where your own writing is, then that's the best way of integrating. Then that means that your quote is integrated well. In addition, there should be a lot of citations in your note. This note that I have here as an example is 14 pages, and I believe there's around 70 footnotes, 67 footnotes. So the importance of footnotes really stems from the fact that it can help you put information that might not be directly related to your argument, but that you're interested in, still in your paper. And it also provides citations for your information. The citations are extremely important because it prevents plagiarism, obviously. It also helps your writers, can allow them to figure out where to find more information if they're interested in the topic, where to look for the court cases, etc. Finally, when you've finished writing for the time that you're writing, whether you just wrote a paragraph or a whole section, my tip is to write a little blurb to yourself about where you left off. Oftentimes, when I start my writing process and continue it throughout multiple days and weeks, I sometimes lose sight of where I've been and where I'm going. And sometimes towards the end, it takes me a long time just to figure out what I've been doing. So I often have to reread my whole note, or try to figure out exactly what I'm trying to say. But writing a sentence to yourself about where you last left off will really help you understand like the last thing that you did and where you're looking to go, so that you don't need to spend a lot of time figuring out where you left off and going on from there. So now I'm just going to do a little bit of analysis on this subsection of my note from volume 4. So first, my topic questioned, the question of my topic was, if the individual mandate, a provision of the Affordable Care Act, was unconstitutional, can it be cut out or severed from the rest of the act to show that to allow the act to continue to operate, or does the entire act need to be struck down? So I was arguing that the individual mandate could be severed or cut out to allow for the rest of the Affordable Care Act to operate. And this section that I analyzed is where I provide the key evidence to my argument. So this subsection includes 3 paragraphs, and it's organized into the different topics that I wanted to talk about. So the first topic sentence is highlighted here, and it reads, an evaluation of whether the applicability of the presumption of severability to the individual mandate first requires a consideration of the Act's capability of functioning without an operative individual mandate. So this paragraph is about whether the Act can function without the individual mandate. And I provide a variety of evidence to show that, yes, it can operate without the individual mandate. I provide evidence about what Congress said and what Congress would have intended the Act to do. And then I also integrated some quotes from different court opinions, and precedent about what we should assume Congress would have wanted about whether the Act can function without an essential provision. The next body paragraph is, the topic sentence is very similar, but I wrote, an evaluation of the applicability of the presumption of severability to the individual mandate also requires a consideration of whether there is evidence to suggest that Congress would have enacted the statute without the unconstitutional provision. So I provide 2 different sections of the Affordable Care Act unrelated to the individual mandate to show that there are important provisions in the Affordable Care Act that make it so that there is evidence to suggest that Congress would have enacted it. So for example, Section 4307 provides another example because it mandates that employers give reasonable break times for nursing mothers. And I claimed that because of these certain sections, it, I guess, provides evidence to the fact that this was something that Congress wanted to regulate, even if they couldn't include the provision of the individual mandate. Then finally, my main claim is that the severability merit of this court case, California versus Texas, fits squarely into the court's history of severability jurisprudence because of its substantially similar facts to Alaska Airlines and other major landmark decisions regarding severability. Therefore, ruling that the individual mandate is inseverable would not fit within the court's severability precedent. So this kind of gives 3 reasons as to why, I guess, the individual mandate is severable, and that's the key evidence to my note. So again, when you're writing your body paragraphs, you want to make sure that you use clear topic sentences and provide substantial evidence to support your topic sentences. You also want to make sure that you're clear and concise when you are writing. And again, the goal of the body paragraph is to make the information accessible to your readers. So that comes in the form of citations to show where you got your information, clear and concise wording, logical structure, etc. If you have any questions about your body paragraphs or anything else about your law review note, feel free to schedule an office hours appointment, and good luck with your writing.